Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Issues on Voice of the People TV. I am your host, Jerry Arpellion. Welcome to the Issues where we'll delve into the wide range of topics that impact our daily lives. Our team of seasoned analysts provides a deep insight and comprehensive overviews of the matters that affect people the most. Join us as we explore the complex discussions that shape our society, equipping you with expert perspectives to navigate the path ahead. We begin with the news that 4 people have reportedly been killed in an attack by unidentified gunmen in the communities of Ukpo and Abatete in Anambra State today. Eyewitnesses suggest the assailants were enforcing a Monday sit-at-home order as they opened fire on residents and members of the Anambra State Vigilante operatives. The gunmen also set vigilante vehicles on fire before fleeing. Away from that, where former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for the appointment of new credible leaders to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) with limited tenures to reduce corruption and rebuild public trust in Nigeria's electoral system. Speaking at the Chinua Achebe Leadership Forum at Yale University, he criticized the 2023 general elections as a travesty and highlighted the urgent need for electoral reform and rigorous vetting of INEC officials to ensure impartiality. And away from that, where Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the NNPP presidential candidate for the 2023 elections and leader of the Kwankwasian movement, has accused Lagos of attempting to colonize the northern region of Nigeria. Still more, where organized labor in Cross River State has threatened to cease operations over the state government's failure to implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage. They announced that if concrete actions are not taken by Wednesday, industrial peace cannot be guaranteed. After the short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Don't go away as we continue our exploration. Welcome back. Let's now delve into the heart of our discussion. We started out with 4 people that have been reportedly killed in an attack by unidentified gunmen in the communities of Ukpo and Abatete in Anambra State earlier today. Eyewitnesses suggest the assailants were enforcing a Monday sit-at-home order as they opened fire on residents and members of the Anambra State Vigilante operatives. The gunmen also set vigilante vehicles on fire before fleeing, and videos on social media show the bodies of the victims, namely Chimame Ezigbo, the President General of Abatete, was injured and taken to the hospital. The total number of casualties is still uncertain, but at least 4 deaths have been confirmed. The Anambra State Police Command is, however, aware of the incident and has sent officers to the scene, promising further updates. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by 2 esteemed guests here in the studio. We have Mr. Peter Anosike. Mr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And of course, also joining us virtually is Mr. Chris Paul Otaibe, an international chief correspondent and project director. Great to have you join us on the issues.
Thank you very much, if you can hear me. My pleasure as always.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Chris. Okay, I want to take the
Great.
question first to you. Why does it look like the government is allowing non-state actors to enforce sit-at-home orders and terrorize local communities with impunity?
Well, I like the way you put it. Why is government allowing non-state actors, to unleash mayhem with impunity on the communities? Well, it's obvious that a superior hand is at play here. Don't forget, what's his name? The governor of Anambra, Soludo, had
Chukwuma Soludo.
threatened that if you don't come out, Professor Soludo, the governor of Anambra, had threatened the traders that should they not come out to break the sit-at-home order, something happened to them. Is something not happening to them now? What is he doing about it? See, the thing is, Nigeria has been thrown into chaos. We're in anarchy right now, and it's being pulled by one source. Today, my worst fears was validated. Your president is a CIA agent. We already knew that he was working for America and America's interest and his allies, but it's now confirmed. It's even worse. The interests of the West, anywhere in the world, especially in Africa, is to perpetually throw it into turmoil. That's why they fund covertly the terrorist organization in whatever name they come in your country. ISIS in the Middle East, ISWAP in West Africa, Boko Haram in Nigeria. Now they are spreading them as unknown gunmen, unknown this. It is in that is the larger interest. It may not make sense to people who can't think deep right now, but that's the truth. That is the truth. Don't forget, on a good day, Southeast is the organic economic lifeline of Nigeria and indeed West Africa. Lagos is just the route. It's just where everybody comes, the coastal area and all of that. So to that extent, it's just by default that Lagos is the economic capital of Nigeria. But the real economic lifeline, organic, of Nigeria is the Southeast. So it will be in the interest of the United States, its West, and its Western allies to ensure through Tinubu and any person, any puppet they put in power, that place don't stabilize. Otherwise, how do you explain when a whole governor, serving governor of a state says, look, this sit-at-home order must not happen. Everybody come out. The citizen being white didn't, disobey his order, and those who try to obey his order as governor, chief security officer of their state, their own president, his sub-national president, call it, and then only for a ragtag army empowered by some superior force, can never be from the sub-national. Don't say it's a rival force from the Southeast or anything, agent or proxy. No, this is from the federal government somehow and its proxies acting on behalf of the West and its allies. This is where we are. That is why look at the mayhem those people caused. So this is the brand. This is the brand of Southeast insurgency.
But when
call it conspiracy theories,
Mr.
conspiracy theories if you like, or speculation, but that's a fact.
These are theories from your own perspective, but when there are no evidence to prove that these are facts, it's now difficult to correlate what is true and what is real. Because
there is a circumstantial evidence, Terry. Listen, please. There is circumstantial evidence. There may not be, you can never get a hard core evidence for circumstantial or situational.
Let me go to
what's it called? The governor and government of Anambra State is not complicit in this mayhem.
let me take you to Mr.
Go ahead, please.
Let me now take you to Mr. Nosuke. Let me put you on hold there. Taking a look at the repeated attacks like this, can we say the Anambra State Police, for instance, and security forces are failing to protect its citizens? What's the real cause of this failure?
Well, for me, I will call it a failure of governance. I will call what's happening in the southeast as a failure of governance. That the masses have lost confidence in those leading them.
The state governors?
Because when the governor say come out, and non-state actors say don't come out, and the people choose to obey non-state actor, understand, and they will sit at home, it simply shows that the people trust those non-state actors more than they trust their leaders. Because the primary role of government is protection of life and property. So when a government cannot protect the life and property of its people, it has failed. Welfare is secondary. You must be alive to enjoy welfare or well-being. So these people in the southeast have seen that the governors don't have the capacity to protect them. That is why when the governor say, come out, go out for your lawful duties, jobs, they will remain at home. Understand? So what is happening is that the masses have lost confidence in their governors. And this will also show that those people are right by staying at home. Understand me?
This new incident.
This new incident, because they came out and were cut down. It means that those who were in their house made the right decision.
Oh, but these are majorly vigilantes who were supposed to even provide security for those who would have dared to come out as it's supposed to be.
That it shows that the government apparatus cannot protect them. Understand me? Even so, when your protector is being shot at, what would you do? So, but we should also know that the governors are incapacitated because of the kind of laws that you have in the country. Understand me?
What laws?
The soldiers report to the chief of army staff. The policemen report to the inspector general of police. So the governor in Enugu, the CP does not take order from him. Rather, the CP takes order from the IG. The same thing with the soldiers. Understand? If not, the soldiers in the southeast are enough to give southeast all the protection in the world. Because Enugu alone has a 82 division. Apart from that, Enugu have army barracks at Okunanu and at Ababa. They have in Nsukka, they have in Onitsha. Understand me? There is that's an artillery brigade in Owerri. Understand me? They have that's one of the biggest battalion in Ohafia in Abia. They have in Abakaliki in Ebonyi State. They have a barracks in Nsukka. So Southeast is adequately, and the distance between one state and the other is not much. So, but the truth is that the soldiers in the Southeast, let me use the military in the Southeast are not there to protect other people. They are there to extort them. They are there to intimidate them. They are there to exploit them. Because if you know the number of checkpoints in the Southeast, understand? But upon those checkpoints, the insecurity is reigning supreme, which means they are just there to be just on business and nothing more. They are there to extort the people and not to protect other people. Because what happened today from Opo to Abatete is not up to 1 hour. And this express road, understand me? So if then those checkpoints, what are the security men manning them doing? Because there will be a checkpoint here will under 50 years, kidnapping will be done. And those security men will not do anything about it. So their role there is not to protect the Southeasterners, but to exploit them, to extort money from them. Understand me? So that's why what is happening in the Southeast is happening. The military are not there to protect the people.
All right, let's now look at the governor. Since this incident happened today, we've not gotten any information from the governor concerning what happened. Does this not show a great divide on the part of sense of responsibility on the part of the governor to come out and issue a statement of kind of giving confidence to the people that these people who have acted this way, at least they live within Anambra State or within a state not too far? Why is it that each time this unknown gunmen acts?
No.
Okay.
As a governor, you must not be quick to issue statements. Otherwise, you will be contradicting yourself. So you should, first of all, analyze what happened before you issue a statement. Understand me? Because if something happened and you are quick to issue a statement, there will be further developments. So he's supposed that to take time, get his security team to assess what happened before he now issues a statement.
But what line of action is he supposed to be doing? Because now the people are kept in the dark. Is it not the governor supposed to visit the scene and try and assess on his own and build confidence on the part of the people that he's with them? Not sitting in the government as nobody is seeing anything. These people are dead and gone because they also have families as well.
Well, for me, the governor, I'm not the spokesperson of the
Anambra State governor.
Of the Anambra State governor. But nobody will be happy that his people are being killed. That's why I am even suspecting if those murderers are Southeasterners, because Igbos don't kill their people. Igbos don't kill their people. So I'm suspecting that those murderers are not Igbos, because that is not what Igbos are. We are developers, not destroyers.
All right, Mr. Chris, I don't know. Some are even saying that if this were to be a movement for Biafra, why the killing of Igbos, for instance? Because why are they putting the people in fear? Because they've demanded for the release of their leader, talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and so on and so forth, and they're pushing for Biafra. But I think that I even saw a comment on social media where someone was saying, you are asking for Biafra, but you're killing your people. You are even looking at the population that doesn't have much size. If a lot of people are scared, a lot of people are put in fear. So what is now the agitation for? If the people who are fighting for are being killed daily because of one other.
No, the killing in Biafra has nothing to do with Biafra at all. It has nothing to do with
that's the word of Mr. Anosike. But some people may not share the same view with you. All right, Mr. Chris.
No, okay. Yeah. Just as it said, the killing has nothing to do with Biafra. This has nothing, trust me, has absolutely nothing to do with Biafra. IPOB, what have you? You are grand plan to destabilize the Southeast. It's basic. I may sound like I'm talking abstract, but this is the real truth, actually. What you're seeing on the ground, like I said, not becoming started this nonsense. And so they are using their, what do you call it, false flagging for flagging Nnamdi Kanu's concepts. You see why I say I dislike Nnamdi Kanu's approach. This is what you get. So they are borrowing his own idea and using it in the name of his cause and his own gang, fabricated, manufactured for this particular purpose to destroy the Southeast. That is what is going on. And well, as my brother said, honestly, about the governor response, the governor, I may diverge a little bit from his submission. The governor, first of all, needs to calm his people down in an emergency appearance of broadcast within 2 hours, and then continue while investigation continues, because the people want to hear him quickly. So that is it. But in Nigeria, I always say, but I can also tell you for free. Soludo knows what's going on. He knows that assault is coming from. And again, I will tell you this.
All right, let's go forward to the next conversation, Mr. Chris. Okay, let's go back to the next conversation where former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for the appointment of new credible leaders to the Independent National Electoral Commission with limited tenures to reduce corruption and rebuild public trust in Nigeria's electoral system. And speaking at the Chino Achebe Leadership Forum at Yale University, he criticized the 2023 general elections as a travesty and highlighted the urgent need for electoral reform and rigorous vetting of INEC officials to ensure impartiality. Obasanjo emphasized the importance of appointing reputable individuals at all levels of INEC to minimize political interference, arguing that the chairperson must be independent and incorruptible. He advocated for clear financial regulations for political campaigns and stronger measures to protect voting infrastructure and technology. Additionally, he accused INEC of neglecting beneficial technologies such as the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, and election viewing portal, IREV, during the recent elections, leading to significant voting irregularities. Meanwhile, in a related development, the special advisor to the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on public communication and orientation, Sunday Dare, has lambasted the former head of state, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and urged him to apologize to Nigerians. Dare, in a statement on his X platform, described Obasanjo's regime as the most corrupt government in the history of Nigeria. He said that Obasanjo has no moral right to condemn any government, noting that he should apologize to Nigerians for not laying the foundation of infrastructure Nigeria needed to advance. Mr. Nosike, how can Nigeria ensure that the appointment of INEC leaders is free from political influence, and what specific measures should be taken to ensure their independence?
For me, I thought that we should have even started with accountability. INEC was given over 300 billion to conduct 2023 election. Won't it be accounted for? How did the Yakubu spend it? If we start there from accountability, giving an account of what you spend, transparency will start from there, integrity will start from there. So, allowing this man that to get away with a 300 and something billion, with that's for a job not well done. Understand me? So, that's the area that we should start with. INEC being accountable to the taxpayers. That should be the beginning of integrity. When you do a bad job with taxpayers' money, you will make a refund. And what Obasanjo said about the 2023 election, even in Somalia, in Uganda, in Chad, in Cameroon, you cannot get such an election. It is the worst in the history of democracy anywhere in the world. 2023 election is the worst election that anybody can think of. So Obasanjo was on point on that. Then appointing incredible people to me is an utopian, because there's no way. It is only good luck Jonathan that will appoint an INEC chairman who will work against him. Understand me? It is only good luck Jonathan that will appoint an INEC chairman who will work against him. You don't expect a Tinubu that to appoint somebody, a credible, somebody who will refuse to compromise. It's not possible.
Are we saying there's an order of precedent here? Because Dari just accused Obasanjo of not setting a standard. Let's take a look at who was the INEC chairman when Obasanjo was president. Let's say he didn't have a say of who was there in 1999. What after the election? Was there a situation where we had the INEC chairman as a precedent going to be free from any undue influence?
We had a Professor Humphrey Wunsu, who in 1993, even though the soldiers were saying don't announce that result, he went ahead and announced it. Understand me? He went ahead and announced it. No election anywhere in the world is perfect. Anywhere in the world. 1999, 2003, 2007 were not perfect. But the 2023 is the worst. 2023 election is the worst in the history of electioneering in Nigeria. 1999 is not perfect. 2003 is not perfect. Then Sunday, Daria or whatever is his name should be ashamed of himself. Sunday, Daria served as a sports minister under Buhari, the worst government that we have ever seen in the history of Nigeria. Understand? Even though Tinubu wants to break that record. So Sunday, I don't know how that to call his son name.
Sunday Dari.
Is part of the worst team that we have ever seen in this country. And you cannot compare Obasanjo's 8 years with Buhari's to Tinubu's 9 years. It's like comparing darkness and all of us saw what happened under Obasanjo administration.
All right, this is a graphic explanation of performance of Nigerian presidents from 1999 to 2021. Okay, and we've seen there's green everywhere when it comes to Obasanjo's time. Of course, in 1999 when he took over, we all know how perilous the economy was for Nigeria, and of course,
Abu Salam al-Bakr was spending money like a madman.
Okay, and of course that's a percentage graph of the level of progress that was made, and in terms of our GDP growth by administration. Okay, it grew to about when he was living in 2006 to about 6.06%, and it grew from that under Mario Yar'Adua, who spent just 2 years, if I'm correct in that one, to 8.04%. And in Jonathan's time, there was a decline in 2011. And in 2014, it was a decline to 6.31%, talking about the GDP. And of course,
that's APC.
Muhammad Buhari.
That is APC.
Those
That's people are trying to defend.
It was a total disaster. Of course, 2.65%, and it went to minus 1.62% and moving down and down.
Debit. Others were credit. APC was debit.
Debit. Okay, they want to say debit GDP. As at 2020, we know minus 1.79%, and it left, of course, it was 3.65% as at 2021. And that now I don't know whether there's still percentage to look at now. Okay.
Everything is now 0 minus 0 0.
Okay. Let me go to Mr. Chris. Taking a look at the comparison, we've just seen the GDP growth rate, because each time you want to measure a country, as I think as a last check, the country that is richest according to GDP is Luxembourg. As we speak, it's not about how big your country is. It's about how you're able to manage the resources you have and how to better the life of your citizens. But it looks like even recently, IMF report as at 2 days ago said that the economic policies of the government of Nigeria is not working. It looks like it's going to end in problem. This is coming from IMF, who we believe has been on the adversary system that this present government has been adopting. So if IMF, who you are adopting their policies, are saying that your policies look like you are in trouble, and we have somebody from that same government coming to compare and say that Obasanjo owes Nigerians an apology. Is it that Sunday Diary is, I don't know.
He's defending his salary.
Right.
Understand me?
Mr. Chris,
He is defending his salary.
How do you make sense of this? Because even some people have made the comment that Sunday Diary should not be the one, because in Yoruba land, some people say in Yoruba land, you don't talk to elders that way, even if when they say something wrong. He should be the one to ask for apology.
Well, hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud
Can
and
you hear
clear.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Now, yes, look, let's forget all this Eda, Yoruba culture, nothing, whatever it is. The issue is the issue. I'll give it to Sunday Diary. Yes, Obasanjo's government was corrupt. Okay? That Obasanjo didn't do what should have done. He didn't lay the foundation he should have laid. Foundation for anti-corruption, which would have swallowed Tinubu at the time, justifiably, when Ribadu identified Tinubu as one of the most corrupt governors at the time, worthy of EFCC. So that Obasanjo's failure to put Tinubu where he belonged at the time, just like he did Alamesiega in jail, his inability to do that is why we are where we are today. So that's settled. I agree with him. But the truth of the matter is that under his own government, Tinubu's government, we actually don't have a government. We have an individual who, aided by foreign powers, has hijacked, captured the Nigerian state, and is running it not even according to his own desire, according to the interest of his puppet masters. Period. That's where we are. I will continue to say this because that is where we are. Everything that comes out of this by way of different scenarios are details of the grand plan. So this Dare is just talking on, I don't think he said, he's talking on behalf of his master. I don't expect him to say anything less. In fact, I expected one day that they would talk at Obasanjo the way they are insulting him like that. Obasanjo, he did in fact, he deserves it. Because even at that time, we kept telling him that this is your opportunity to revive this country. We invested so much trust in Obasanjo because we are coming from the military rule just at that time. Obasanjo squandered it on personal vendetta. And you know, it will be something and he will spoil it with his personal vendetta. And here we are today. Everything that would have saved Nigeria, Obasanjo contributed to destroying it. Maybe God is punishing him now with Tinubu. and punishing us as collateral damage. That's why we are where we are. So for this ant of Tinubu to be insulting the giant of Obasanjo, well,
do you think that
I'm
Obasanjo
listening.
is being punished now because that man, like I know, he should be a rich man, and
Do I think what?
he can travel from any country he wants to and be given all the honors and all the accolades of being an ex-president. I don't think whatever happens in this economy will affect someone like Obasanjo.
I lost you there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Do I think what?
I said I don't think that Obasanjo is one among those who is suffering from the economic downturn right now. I think he's on the blocks of those who can fly anywhere they want to fly to, and of course have make speech at the Yale University. Yale University is in the US, and so on and so forth. So he's living the life. I don't think he's one of those who ever suffer under these government policies.
No, of course. He's made, and again, thank you for that. Obasanjo left prison with 20,000. Corruption too on his own head. But anyway, what he said about INEC, okay. We are past INEC. Even he himself muzzled INEC to the ground for himself, rigging Nigeria's election. So Obasanjo actually, according to Dare, has no moral rights to be saying all he's saying. So Dare is correct to that point. So if you say he's insulting another, it's another who actually deserves to be insulted, only in the wrong government. Because maybe Dare was working for Yaradua then and insulting Obasanjo, I would say, oh yes, Obasanjo deserves it. But with this government, no. In fact, it should just shut up. This government is no government. Press the issue of INEC. All those ones Obasanjo is talking about INEC for me is balderdash. Because he himself taught Tinubu the concept, the audacity, the temerity to tamper with INEC. That's what Obasanjo did when he was there as president, rigging elections with impunity. Even Yaradua, that he rigged the election for, confessed. So Obasanjo, to that extent, has no moral rights. But that does not justify. We didn't have an election in 20. We had an election. We had results in 2023. Those results were annulled. That's our situation today.
All right,
that's even an advance of Obasanjo's concept.
Okay, let's not. Let me go to Stan Osike. There is a saying that you don't look at the messenger, look at the message. No, you don't.
I don't agree.
No, wait.
If the messenger is not credible, the message cannot be credible.
Let's not look at the messenger right now. The messenger might not. No, calm down. Why I'm saying let's
look at both.
Let's take it easy. Let's pipe down low. Let's not look at the messenger.
You cannot give what you don't have.
Let's calm down. Let's not look at the messenger. Is what Obasanjo is saying correct or not? Let's look at, because we are looking at the future of the country. Let's look at America, for instance, as a model which we want to copy democracy from and follow in their antecedents. We've seen situations, even when there are cries that the elections of late have been having some bit of issues, Americans can still go to sleep that some level of sanity will go on in terms of whoever wins as the president. Even little as some other African countries around us, they even organize free and fair election. Why is it looking like nobody is looking at this seriously? The president enjoys so much power to the extent that he can, by proxy, make sure that the INEC that is there will work according to his tenets and plans, except maybe something extra happens.
One, in America, we don't have Mahmoud Yakub in America. That they don't have. There's nothing like a federal INEC. They don't have anything like a federal INEC. So each state organizes their own elections. Understand me? Each state organizes its own that's election. But they have people with elements of integrity that does this. Even in this on November presidential election in the United States, Tim Walz lost his own state, Michigan. Michigan was a swing state, and he was the governor of the state. He lost that state to Donald Trump, even though they are the ruling party in the United States. Understand me? That shows you that he cannot influence election even in his own state, which is not the same in Nigeria. I read what Ganduje said, that they have captured Ondo, understand? Not to capture Oyo on the pipeline. To capture Oyo and Oshun are not to win, but to capture. And remember what Tinubu said before a election. If you want a do, I'll give you a do. So he is the God that gives. Understand me? If you want a do, I'll give you a do. Does this happen in a democracy? Do you speak this kind of language in a democracy? So what Obasanjo said is correct. It is true. Understand? We need credible people to man INEC. But because of the system that we have in this country, the president always appoints those who will do his will. Understand me? That was the judicial coup that removed Onenigan and brought Tanku.
Can there not be a review of this constitution? Because it's just like you are having a court case and you are deciding the judge, you are appointing the judge who's going to judge in your case. Are you not going to have undue influence in that judge?
That's what Tinubu told PDP yesterday now. If you don't like the result, go to court. Because the court is in his pocket. Understand me? So the issue is this, what Obasanjo said is true, but is it practicable in Nigeria? The answer is no. What those in the National Assembly is doing is amending those parts of the Constitution that will not affect them. The critical parts of the Constitution are not being amended because they know that if they amend it and it's being enforced, most of them will not return in 2027. Understand me? So what Obasanjo said is true, but is it practicable in Nigeria? The answer is no. And the only way to measure governments is the quality of life of the citizens. No two ways about it. The only way to measure a performing government is the quality of life of the citizens. And when you measure from 1960 till now, you know that Tinubu's government is the worst in the history of Nigeria, going by the standard of living of the citizens.
All right, let's look at INEC properly, Mr. Chris. Okay, he made mention of money being thrown around, the role of money and power play in Nigerian elections. What specific actions can the government really take to prevent political interference in INEC, especially concerning the role of money and power play in Nigerian elections? Hello, Mr. Chris, are you with us? Please unmute your mic so that we can get to hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. We can hear you.
Yes, I'm saying that if we are to analyze this based on the existing system that we think or imagine we are practicing in the name of something called democracy, it will be too complicated to talk about. So I will go ahead and tell you the truth or the normal thing that should happen. Right now, we need one strong man to clean up the system and then enthrone the culture, first of all, of accountability, order, discipline. And then that will reflect in INEC and other institutions that are so sensitive to the soul of our country, in the name of whatever ideology, be democracy, be whatever, but so long as it has to do with elections and then running government properly. As for me, the system we are running right now is the strong man who is there, who owns the umpire, INEC. So there's nothing I can really explain to you, right? Am I going to tell you we should follow constitution, which they are not following, and there's a constitution? Am I going to tell you that they should probe a Mahmoud who actually should be rotting in jail right now, but because the person he works for is the one in power and will protect him and throw away the books? So how do you navigate all of that? That is the truth. So that's why I tell you, I don't waste my time joining issues on these things, because you will be hitting your head against the wall. The truth of the matter is that until God provides somebody who cleans up all these people, all the system, and then we start the truth, the real system. The real system is not an ideal, it's not a utopia. It is a normal human system. We are not running a normal human system. We are running a criminal system, a criminal enterprise. So how do you expect me, or how can you dissect what should be in what is criminal? We can't. It's like saying how do we manage? I don't know what analogy, but the truth of the matter is the system we are running right now cannot lend itself to any normal thorough analysis, any productive analysis, because it is criminal. People have hijacked institutions and laws and everything to their own interest. So how do you wrestle that in analysis? To say this is how it should be, this is how it shouldn't be. The truth of the matter is that right now Nigeria is dirty, very dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. Then when you look at Burkina Faso, for crying out loud, look at Niger, look at Mali, the Sahel states. They are cleaning up. They are cleaning up. That is what I'm talking about. Look at Putin in Russia. Before he came, Russia was like us, was like Nigeria, even worse, because it was controlled by America and its proxies. Look at when Putin came, he cleaned it up, and today, go to Russia. Russia is paradise compared to so many countries, including the United States of America. Look at Burkina Faso. Within a year from now, it's already showing signs. It's going to be a paradise in West Africa. That's what I'm talking about. Now, with what is happening in Burkina Faso, you can analyze the ideology, political or economy. In Nigeria, what do you want to analyze? For a country that has gone to zero, democratically, economically, what do you want to talk about? So that's why I say we will just continue to hit our head against the wall intellectually, trying to say, well, INEC should be this way, it shouldn't be that way. In a Tinubu government, or anti-corruption should be this way. When corruption itself is sitting in power, a criminal is sitting in power, you want to talk about anti-corruption? Are you not wasting your time? What are we talking about in Nigeria? This is the truth. We argue maybe because we program us to run and we have to stand up and all of that. The truth of the matter is that we are in a mess. Nigeria is dirty. It's at its dirtiest. You can't compare Nigeria to any country in this planet. We are the worst. We are the worst in human rating, in everything.
You agree
Thank
with
you.
me. Mr. Chris, you agree with me. I understand your pain. But definitely, the fourth realm of the estate must be able to do his own part in terms of pointing out these failures and, of course, pointing out these areas so that there will be an act of checks and balance. Because if we leave it to the way sometimes the situation is, I think by now, Nigerians will just go to bed and don't know what next is happening, and nobody is going to ask the right questions.
For me, I agree totally with Chris. Most of the time, I find it tired talking on this issue because there's no recommendation
That has been taken seriously.
that you will give me a recommendation that doesn't even make sense. Understand me? Talking of the way things should be, to me, it's a waste of time. Who are you talking to?
But let's not always say everything is a waste of time. Let's take a look, for instance, end bad governance.
Who are you talking to?
Okay.
The end bad governance or the agenda was anyone met?
No.
None. Understand me? So saying how can this thing? We are not in an ideal country.
If our producers will help me, I think I will have in defense of the government by Sunday Diary, who is active in this government. He has brought in the Tinubu reform tracker, which is.
Why didn't he bring it under Buhari?
He was a sport minister.
So now, when he was a full minister and now he's just an SA.
He was a sport minister, and I think he had some little bit of achievement when he was a sport minister.
Now he is an SA.
Yes, so, and he's acting on that capacity.
Talking about ideal things, how things should be, making recommendations, to me, it weakens me because who are you recommending to?
Okay, for those of us who are not seeing the positive, Sunday Diary is telling us there are some positive things in this government. He has said that there are some positive notes from President Tinubu's oil sector reforms, which a lot of Nigerians are crying about 1,000 naira, 1,200 naira. We are still buying it.
Jerry, the only way to measure government is the quality of life of the people.
But Tinubu has said that they are going to be painful.
What's the quality of life of Nigerians? Forget about what is written on the papers.
Nigeria's GDP now is 3.19%, which is the worst we have seen in about 8-9 years now. Definitely. It's the worst we have ever seen. We've seen minus 1.8%, but now it looks like there's no growth. But he is still telling us that their reforms have some gains. Okay, let's read the reforms. He has said that the Tinubu government has enforced that.
Jerry,
he said they've saved
this program. Let us go.
He said they've saved $7.5 billion. That is Sunday Diary, who is in the government, saying they've saved $7.5 billion previously spent annually on oil subsidy. The question is, Sunday Diary did not tell us where they are spending that money now. And he said that they
are going to borrow 13 billion to fund the 2025
13 trillion.
13 trillion to fund the budget
for 2025.
And they are making profits.
At least they are saving money. For what? What are they saving the money for?
So all these things. Does your 5 senses tell you that you have a government in Nigeria? Yes or no?
That's why you are here, to answer the questions. All right, Mr. Chris will not be able to go on and on. Definitely, we've been enjoying the conversation, and definitely we'll have to call it a day on the issues this evening. I want to say big thanks, Mr. Chris, and put it to you that in spite of all of the issues and the problems that continue to bedevil our country, there must be a platform for Nigerians to get to know what is actually going on, and of course have a voice. Maybe sometime we'll have a platform where Nigerians can also call in and give us feedback on what they think about every issue. We bring on the issues anytime we are on this platform on Voice of the People TV. I want to say thank you and have a good night rest.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too. All right, Mr. Anosike, we'll let you retire to your bed.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's been a pleasure. Of course, as we conclude today's edition of the issues, we thank you for joining us. Catch us again tomorrow at the same time on our YouTube channel, Voice of the People TV. Stay connected with us on our other social media platforms at VOP TV Live. I am your host, Jerry Apelioy. Good evening.